Hello and welcome to a Masters 25 Draft League. This is Old Man Poole. I am super excited to be playing this new set. Full disclosure, this is actually the second draft I've done of it. I usually like to show you guys my very first take on the format and really get started right off the bat. But unfortunately, my draft yesterday, I had a power outage halfway through, and that kinda wrecked it. But it's okay, we're back again. Just slightly more in tune with the format than maybe we would be for our usual first draft, but we've opened up kind of a cool rare here. I think we're probably going to take Henna, Ship's Navigator here. It's maybe not fantastic, but there are a lot of enchantments in white and in blue. Things like Retraction Helix. I guess that's not an enchantment. But things like Pacifism. There's just some very good things running around. And I think that Henna's probably pretty sweet. Other cards maybe Zombify out of this pack. I had Fathoms here in the first draft and it seemed great. Kindle, Ghost Ship. But let's take our rare. I'm kind of salty. Our first draft, I actually got to start out with Triskaidekaphobia, which is one of my favorite cards that's ever been printed. So it's going to be hard to really measure up to that again, but that's okay. I think out of this pack, we're probably taking Murder of Crows. There's actually not a whole lot in our colors, although I do like me some Sifts for sure. But yeah, Murder of Crows is a pretty big late game finisher. It's a 4/4 flyer for 5, which is already absurd. And then you randomly get to loot a lot of the time, which is pretty cool. Rashad Port, I guess, might be pretty solid if you're quite aggressive, but we're going to take Murder of Crows. This is a Phantom League too, so I'm not missing out on any extra bonuses picking up like a foil Rashad Port and that sort of a thing. So Bident of Thassa actually might be pretty good. Interesting. So being able to deal a card is pretty, or draw a card every time you deal damage is pretty good. There are a fair number of cards like Mystic of the Hidden Way, just some like small flyers that can get in for damage. I think we're probably going to take the Bident because of that. The activated ability isn't absurd, although, I mean, it's not bad either. Like, sometimes you just end up with some good blockers and you can get good work done that way. Yeah, let's take the sweet rare. I think it's rarely incorrect to just take the sweet rare, right? Okay, so what do we want out of this pack? We've got Noble Templar, which I think that all of the cards that have the like plane cycling, mountain cycling, that sort of a thing are pretty good, just because they're very versatile. They'll fix your mana early on if you need them to, and then they turn into a threat later on in the game. So this is just a card you're happy to have on turn 6 and happy to have earlier as well. I'm a little tempted to take Horseshoe Crab. There was like that Arbalest that we saw, and this is a wombo combo with that, just being able to untap and start like machine gunning down stuff. I'm not sure if the jig is up about that deck or not this early in the format, but it is cool. I've also got Nicol Bolas, although I don't think Nicol Bolas is actually super absurd. I think I'm going to take the Horseshoe Crab just for the attempts to have some shenanigans. I'm not sure that's actually will end up being correct, but it's sweet. Alright, this pack, borrowing 100,000 arrows, I guess is kind of a wombo with Bident of Thassa. Can make our opponent attack and then draw a bunch of cards. Feels kind of win more though. Like, I think if we're to the point where we can force my opponent, spend a turn forcing my opponent to attack us and getting value from that, and then drawing cards thereafter, that might be a bit much. I think I'm taking Loyal Sentry here. I actually was pretty impressed by this card in our first draft. It just seemed very solid. I ended up, I think, with 3 of them, and they came around really late, but just being able to trade your 1 drop off for a lot of the field is pretty good. Obviously not fantastic against something like Murder of Crows, but against a lot of things you're pretty happy with it. Living Death with some pretty sweet artwork. I think we're taking Court Hussar here, probably? Over Fathoms here, although I do like Mia Fathoms here quite a bit. Prophetic Prism's also solid. I think let's take the Hussar. If we do end up in white-blue, this is a pretty solid card. I think it is enough better that we should pick it. Humble Defector, that's kind of interesting. Draw cards and then swap this guy around. I've never seen that card before, but it's pretty sweet. So I feel like we're running a little bit out of stuff here. I mean, Active Heroism's okay. It might just be the pickup here. I guess it's actually good with Loyal Sentry. I didn't even think about that. Well, in the way that it kind of turns into an extra removal spell. That's maybe a little bit situational, though. I also just take the Knight. This is a fine card just to keep from getting beaten down. Don't love choking tethers unless you've got something that takes advantage of the cycling, which I don't think this is the color combination that has it crazy often. We could take Epic Confrontation here. We're not necessarily in white, and I think this is a pretty late confrontation. Ancient Stirrings is also pretty powerful. I guess maybe we're still okay enough with white that we shouldn't take the confrontation. Well, I could see that being correct there. Alright, so this pack I think we're taking Ghost Ship. This is a pretty good defensive card, pretty good flyer. I actually wouldn't hate having Disenchant or the Helix. Helix is one of the cards that's a combo with Horseshoe Crab. You play this, and then you can pay blue, untap this, and just return all your opponent's creatures. Maybe we want to try just Horseshoe Crab deck. It does seem kind of sweet. Ghost Ship's good, but maybe Retraction Helix is actually... No, let's take Ghost Ship. I think that's probably incorrect. We'll hope to find a few more Helixes down the road. Angelic Page, just okay. We did not get the crossbow back for what that's worth. I think that's kind of interesting. I don't think that's a card you want very often unless someone else is also trying to do the Horseshoe Crab shenanigans. Ambassador Oak, there's some good green here. Yeah, maybe we should have taken Epic Confrontation. I think green has looked open. That's a late Noble Templar though, and we're happy to play it for sure. Yeah, there's some good green here for sure. We're still not necessarily just in love with green. Maybe I'll take Cultivate. Or white. Like this is a late Kavu Climber. Yeah, green just seems super open, so that might be a reason to take a turn here. Ooh, Niv Mizzet. It's pretty cool. Quicksilver Dagger, also pretty cool. Also a combo with Horseshoe Crab. What do we want out of this pack? Dragon's Eye Savants is good. Geist of the Moors is good. I feel like the Devil Red Splash is probably too much. Could maybe take Quicksilver Dagger though. It's very good with Horseshoe Crab. Probably worth splashing for. Although, I guess there's an uncommon land that has basic land cycling, so you can search for red off of that. Kind of want to take Quicksilver Dagger. Is that just crazy? It might be. Things like Dragon's Eye Savants, Geist of the Moors, like these are not cards that we're super crazy high on though. And the dagger has such high upside. One other thing that's kind of cool in the set is there is Self-Assembler and Factory Worker. I can't remember what the smaller version is, but there's a couple of these cards, and if you are the one person that can pick these up over the course of the draft, they get pretty good. Here, what do we want? Flash. Flash is kind of cool. I mean, it's great with Murder of Crows. We're probably not getting tons and tons of value, but we are getting some. You could also just take Exclude, which is very solid for sure. I'm not honestly sure how good Flash is. I think I might take the Exclude here. That's a little bit of a safer pick. I could see Flash just being really nuts sometimes, but I actually don't know the card all that well, and that makes me a little bit worried to take it. There is Triskaidekaphobia. Oh, it came around. I do like that in the slower style of deck, which we're maybe building towards. That's probably just not correct to grab it though here. Oh man, I love me Triskaidekaphobia. Maybe next time. Should we see if we can wheel the Horseshoe Crab? Is that crazy? Could just take like Path of Peace here. That seems very reasonable. I really want to take this. That's just absolutely silly. I don't think this set actually lends itself real well to splashing unless you are in green, but I think I'm going to take it. I can't resist. I was so sad I couldn't share the first draft with Triskaidekaphobia with you guys. I just can't resist. Cortazar, if this is our win condition, Cortazar does a pretty good job of help setting up for that. Don't hate Mana War either. Cloud Shift actually has some kind of cool synergies, like it works well with Loyal Sentry. Not sure there's a whole lot else, but just rebuying Enter the Battlefield effects like the Cortazar. Although I guess when enters the battlefield, I guess it would die, right? If you Cloud Shifted it. It's kind of interesting. I think we're going to take the Hussar. I was happy with this card when we played it before. I could see Mana War being the pick, but... Well, there's Rugged Prairie. That would let us splash the Quicksilver Dagger pretty easily. It's another Horseshoe Crab, although we actually haven't seen... We actually don't have any synergies other than the Quicksilver Dagger. I think I might just take another Loyal Sentry here. If Triskaidekaphobia is the plan, Loyal Sentry is pretty good in that. Path of Peace here. Another retraction helix. I think we still want path. Maybe I'm just not pushing enough for horseshoe crab to really get there, but... Oh, and watch wolf. That's kind of sweet. Shoreline Ranger, I think will probably be the pickup this time around. Cards like these do actually help you splash, even though they're not actively finding black or red, because they just fix your mana a little bit on the other side of things. But let's take a Shoreline Ranger here. Mishra's Factory, also Assembly Worker, also Dauntless Cathar. I passed quite a few Assembly Workers already. I think I might just take Dauntless Cathar here. These do have pretty high upside. I don't think we can afford to play Mishra's Factory if we're kind of stretching the mana as it is, though. Yeah, I think we could have had a pretty great green deck. We've seen a lot of great, or good green come around. I guess Phantasmal Bear as a hedge against more aggressive decks. I haven't gotten a Sift back or anything like that. Oh, there's Assembly Worker. Kind of crazy. Do we just take Retraction Helix at this point? It is sweet with Horseshoe Crab. These are just coming around so late. Maybe we can pick up a couple others and hedge on that. We did let these pass like over and over again. Wow, Path of Peace coming around this late's pretty crazy though too. And Cloud Shift too. Yeah, there's some cards here that we're happy to see for sure. And we actually still have one more pack, so... Oh, I had Rugged Prairie come around. Nice. I think we'll actually probably play this, especially if Horseshoe Crab ends up being a thing, although someone else out there is picking them aggressively. Oh, man. The dream. Triskaidekaphobia 2 drafts in a row. This is like probably my... Well, I was gonna say it's my favorite card ever printed. That's maybe an exaggeration. It's really high up there, though. I love this card so much. It's so sweet. Lets you play super dirtily do-nothing decks and still kill your opponent. It's a lot of fun. So we have Elvish Piper here, which is great in green. Like I said, I think our green deck could have probably been better than what we're staring at right now, but it's a little bit late for that now. I guess Blood Moon does next to nothing in draft. I'm not actually sure what we want here. Some good black. Shadow Mage Infiltrators, very solid. So is Murder. I'm kind of tempted to just taking a Loyal Sentry, although I feel like these cards come around much later than first pick. This card has just been so impressive to me, though, especially in dirtily Triskaidekaphobia deck. Alright, here, Staying. What's this card? Here's the battlefield, create a legendary 3/4, or, yeah, Staying and Staying Twin. Okay. There's just like 2 versions of this card. It's kind of cool. One of the original Legends. Probably pretty good. Mystic of the Hidden Way is probably nice. It works actually pretty well with Triskaidekaphobia. Wouldn't hate Disenchant. Wouldn't necessarily hate Dauntless Cathar. But let's take it. Ooh, nice. And Ash Barrens. This is the card I was talking about that really can let you splash cards. There's actually a couple other things. We'd love to have a Sift in this deck. Another Mystic would be good. Ripper would be good. But I think we just want the fixing more than anything else. Especially given the fact that we actually are not doing terribly on playables right now. Laquatus is champion. Here's the battlefield. Target player loses 6 life. When it leaves the battlefield, they gain that much. Alrighty. Sundering Titan also. Seeing a lot of foil rares. It's kind of sweet. What do we want here? I guess Fathom Seer or White Mane Lion. White Mane Lion is pretty sweet. I really liked having a couple of Fathom Seers, though. This as a 1/3 was good some of the time, and being able to morph it up in the late game and draw cards seemed really cool. There's a heavy Arbalist. I think I might actually be off the Horseshoe Crab thing. We didn't see a ton of those come around. We'll let somebody else pick this up, because I really would like a Sift. Okay, so we're abandoning this, I think. Flooded Grove actually isn't one of the rares that helps us. Pillory of the Sleepless. Kind of cool with Triskaidekaphobia, I suppose. Could just take Assembly Worker, goes along with our Self-Assembler, or we could take a Mystic and say that we're cutting on the Self-Assembler build-arounds too. I think I kind of like that. Let's play... Pillory's actually... If we can't actually play black, it's pretty good. It's funny. If it works really well with Triskaidekaphobia early in the game and worse later, I think I might just want the Mystic. That will mean that we don't have to go too hard on a splash. Just help us out a little bit in general there. So, Dauntless Cathar, or Disenchant for the sideboard. Right now we're at 25 playables. I think I might actually want the Disenchant, although I definitely think Cathar is worthy of a place in a lot of decks. Okay, we're going to take Knight here, I think. Cloud Shift is good with some stuff. I don't think it's absurd, though, for this deck. I mean, kind of cool with Loyal Sentries. It's a late lore scale Coatl, too. That card just gets out of control really fast. I'm going to take the Knight. Ghost Ship came around. Probably will play that. And Disenchant did as well. I don't know if we want another Noble Templar or another Act of Heroism, so we'll just grab Disenchant here. Another Cloud Shift. Well, I think we did Forge a Path. I think we could have been pretty happy with green, but I think we actually did end up with a pretty okay deck here, too. And we're playing Triskaidekaphobia again. What are the odds? Basically 0 is the answer. What are we cutting here? I don't think we probably want both Cloud Shifts, especially given that we have a White Mane Lion. White Mane Lion may just be enough better. Don't really want both Knights most of the time. Active Heroism seems probably not absurd. Do we want Hannah? It's a little bit interesting. So it can get back Triskaidekaphobia. That's kind of it, right? I guess Quicksilver Dagger as well. Yeah, I don't think Hannah actually is going to make the cut quite here. Alright, let's group our creatures out. I think we're cutting one of the Knights. We're just going to lean heavily on these Loyal Sentries, because I think they're actually better against most decks than the Knight of the Skyward Eye is anyway. Horseshoe Crab. This is going to be one of the things people remember about this set, I'm pretty sure. It's just all the random wonky stuff you can do with Horseshoe Crab. So we'll have to really give it a whole draft of that at some point. But I was easily lured by my favorite rare. So what's our last cut here? Binding of Thassa with Loyal Sentry actually is kind of nice, because we can pick off annoying creatures. I'm not quite sure this merits inclusion. When I look at the cards in the deck, it's the first one that jumps out as me as not being quite good enough. Quicksilver Dagger maybe isn't worth the splash, but because we have Rugged Prey, it just gets so much easier. Maybe that's just too much, though. I really would want 2 sources of it, which means we'd have to play an extra mountain. Maybe we'll sideboard this in. It does seem good, though. Yeah, I think it might just be asking too much. And again, I can't leave this guy in the sideboard, so you guys, by the end of this draft, are going to have had your ear talked off about how cool this card is. And I mean, like, the design is so fun. Like, the art is crazy. I don't know if you really paid attention before, but, like, there's 13 blood trails coming down, 13 pieces of cutlery, 13, like, ceiling slats of wood, 13, like, logs in the fireplace, 13 stones in the fireplace. Anytime there could be 13, there's just 13 in this picture. That's really fun. Okay, I think this is our 23, though. We're going to play Ash Barrens for sure, and 1 Swamp to go along with it. And the deck recommends more blue than white. We do have Ghost Ship, which requires a lot of blue before you're super excited with it. Although, honestly, not being able to regenerate it isn't the end of the world. Do I want 8-7? Maybe 9-6 is correct. We really want 1 white source. Yeah, I think we're going to run that. I think I do like Magic Online's suggestion. Just, like, looking at the mana base there, though, makes me feel like Quicksilver Dagger being in the sideboard's probably correct. Rugged Prairie is just... I mean, it's good, but probably not quite enough to play it. Okay, the deck is sweet. I actually think it's probably still ever so slightly worse than the deck I played yesterday. That one had a couple of Sifts, had a couple of Fathom Seers, but it's very similar. I'm glad I can show you a close to the same deck. Alright, I will see you guys for match 1. Hello and welcome back for match 1. We won the dice roll. We're going to play first. Perfectly reasonable hand here. We've got Loyal Sentry early on, Court Hussar, Ghost Ship eventually, and a removal spell. I think I'm pretty happy with this. Let's go ahead and keep. I really liked this card. It's just... It's at the... What's the card from Rivals of Ixalan? The Merfolk, 2/2 for 4. It's like... I want to say it's River Herald. That's probably not quite right. Anyway, very similar to that. You just dig through the first couple of cards of your library, and they get to take one of them. Ooh. Looks like we might be in the control mirror, so to speak. Fathom Seers are... Well, actually, if we're playing the control mirror, we may want to just sandbag that. And actually, I don't think I really want to trade 1 life for 1 life, so let's just pass here. This card's a little bit nice. The returning 2 islands actually means that a lot of times you can morph it for 2, too. I mean, it does put you back on a land drop if you missed a land drop that turn anyway. Nyx Fleeced Ram. Alright. Oh, no! It counters Triskaidekaphobia! That's funny. Oh, yeah, it looks like they're definitely on the slow path, so hopefully we have a better late game engine than they do. That's definitely not for sure. Loyal Sentries and Noble Templar. Not really in love with any of these, honestly. It doesn't look like my opponent's going to try and be attacking us on the ground. I think I'm just going to take Noble Templar. Put those on the bottom in any order. And we'll have to hope that I haven't read my opponent wrong here, but this looks pretty defensive. Kind of funny this card's uncommon. It's good, I'm not sure I would think of it as an uncommon card very often. Great art, I love this card. Turn Phalanx, alright. Yeah, that's a little bit more on the beatdown side. So yeah, still gonna play, I think, Ghost Ship this turn, and then start swinging in with it. Hope to dodge removal. I don't think we can realistically wait till we're at 7 and have 5 blue here, though, so my opponent's got a way to kill this. They've got a way to kill this, but... And I should just auto-yield to this, because we're never interacting with it. I don't think so, with something on the stack. There's that... There's a green card that cares. No, it's whenever your opponent gains life, I think. Ooh, no play. Stuck on 3 mana, my opponent is. So we could... Plane Cycling. We could also play the Noble Templar, although it's just going to run into junk eventually. I think we're going to actually morph the Fathom Seer here. I guess if we're doing both, do we want the Noble Templar, or do we just want to pull land out of the deck? I think the 3/6 has got to be better, even if it's not swinging past Loyal Sentry. Let's play land, swing with Ghost Ship. Aha! Back down to 20. Your Ram is nothing. Let's put our Fathom Seer down. And pass. Yeah, opponent's... Ooh, Forest. Interesting. Okay. So maybe there were 3 colors? Ooh, okay, Griffin Protector, actually. It's kind of bad for us. Just because it blocks the Ghost Ship fairly well. So we can play Bident, but we can't also play Path of Peace. Being able to remove this potentially is pretty good. I guess we can force my opponent to attack and then get in with the Ghost Ship. Also, we can snipe like Loyal Sentry. That actually seems pretty good. So we play the Bident, and we force some kind of awkward attacks. Maybe kill off like the Ram. If my opponent's gun doesn't have combat tricks, the Bident actually looks pretty good here. Alright, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. And I guess we'll want to do this on our opponent's beginning of combat step. So can't get in with the Phalanx, which is actually well and good for us since that's my opponent's best attacker. What do we want to pick off here? I guess maybe like block like that. Or do we just want to kill off the Ram? So you can block, remove that. Or like I said, kill the Ram. Actually getting rid of Loyal Sentry might be pretty good, because the Noble... Well, I guess they're both bad for us. So I guess let's kill the Ram and stop the life gain. That's also potentially not quite as bad if my opponent's got a trick. Alright, so like block. Take 3. Oh, that's true. We could have used Loyal Sentry, though. Oh, yeah. Missed opportunity. So I could have killed Loyal Sentry that turn, and we could have done some stuff. Yeah, that was questionable. I think we even talked about that, and then I didn't do it right. My opponent's got like +2/+2. Fathom Seer gets to get it. Yeah, we shouldn't have blocked Loyal Sentry there. That was a super big mistake. Oh well. At least we're going to be able to attack next turn and draw some cards. But yeah, that was not excellent. Zombify, alright. Well, I don't know if that's super absurd either. Yeah. We just throw our Sentry away though. So this turn, we swing with Ghost Ship. I guess like play Noble Templar probably? Okay. Well, let's draw a card. Hopefully that wasn't enough of a setback that we're terrible. I feel like I played with this card so much and I still wasn't paying attention. That's alright. Yes, we would like to use the ability. Ooh, Mystic's nice. That'll start getting in for some more realistic damage. So with that in mind, we play what? We've got 6 mana. We could play Mystic, keep it secret, and have White Mane Lion up and available, I guess. Noble Templar doesn't seem absurd. So we could play Mystic, force my opponent to attack again, pick off the Ram again, also like Sentry. Alright. I think that seems best. Okay, opponent gets to gain some more life. Biden's doing some serious work here, despite, yeah, like I said, a little bit sketchy play. I'll try not to linger on that, though. Let's kill the Ram again. My opponent didn't have a trick last turn. I'm pretty sure they don't have a trick again. Ooh, Supernatural Stamina. So we actually can't bring back Fathom Seer here, which I think seems okay. And that keeps it from dying. We do give up an island, but that's okay. Draw some cards. Okay, so let's keep hitting land drops. It's even more important given that we were a little bit down now. And I think we just swing with Ghost Ship and play like Murder of Crows. Seems alright. So we can't force my opponent to attack next turn, but that's okay. Yes, we do want to use the ability. We could have just let the Fathom Seer die there, but I think it's a choice between either having too much cards and kind of slow mana, or too much mana and not enough cards. I think we'd rather have more cards and more mana. Okay, Murder for the Murder of Crows. Rest in peace. That was a very timely swamp for my opponent. And no attacks. Alright, so this turn we're up to 6 mana. I think we want to Morph Mystic, bring Mystic in. Alright, so let's turn this card face up and attack with it. We're drawing so many cards. The dream. My opponent still like massive amounts of life because of the Ram, but oh, there's the Triskaidekaphobia. So now we just need to find black. So we'll play Island, I guess, is more important, and then morph another Mystic. These two will do a pretty good job of beating down too, but man, I can't stop thinking about that Loyal Sentry. You guys probably were screaming at the screen. Oh well. The deck still seems sweet. And so I never actually played like original Theros. I guess this is that Born of the Gods? I can't remember the symbols. Either Theros or Born of the Gods. Okay, opponent concedes. Fair enough. I think they were not necessarily just dead, but they were definitely not looking great. Anyway though, Biden's already impressed me. Okay, white-black splashing for green, and they also look like they're playing for the long game. Quicksilver Dagger didn't seem terrible, but didn't seem absurd either. Don't think we need Bear. We maybe don't need as many Loyal Sentries as we have. Didn't see anything for Disenchant. Maybe a Cloud Shift is better. Well, we already have one. I don't really want to have two, I don't think, without tons of synergies. Alright, let's just run this back, I think. I am loving this format so far, though. It feels like you can do some pretty fun stuff. It feels a little bit different than a lot of the other Masters sets. Because I don't know, it feels a little bit more like just a random draft format. But the cards are all just really good. Like, there's almost no cards that I see. I mean, like Congregates, I guess maybe one. But very, very few cards that I look at and I'm just like, this card is bad. I'm excited to have them all in my deck. Alright, actually pretty close to perfect mana again. Let's go ahead and keep. We've got Loyal Sentry and White Mane Lion and Cloud Shift, so that actually provides us quite a bit of good defense. And alright, we got the Dream. We need to find black. Still need to find black for it, but I'm playing a swamp, right? Pretty sure. I guess I should look at our picture. Yeah, we got a swamp in there. And Ash Barrens. Oh! Disfigure? Wrecked I am. Alright. Prophetic Prism. Good card. I think this is a very necessary card if you're trying to play lots of shenanigans. We definitely wouldn't mind having it in our deck. Okay, so can't cast light or white main lion as it stands right now. Next turn we'll have exclude up though, which is nice. So assuming my opponent doesn't have just a great play here, we're looking okay. Geist. Alright, Geist's annoying. Just because it's a fairly fast clock. Do we want to keep up exclude or we just want to cast Mystic? We're probably going to need to Path of Peace this at some point, or just find Ghost Ship, I guess. I'm a little bit afraid to just hold up exclude, because if my opponent doesn't play into it, we're really far behind. So I think we're going to play the Mystic here. Not real surprising that we have a morph card on turn 3, considering how many of the cards in our deck are morphs. I guess is it only 3? Maybe it's only 3. We have 2 Mystics, yeah, and then 1 Fathom Seer, and I think that's it. Alright, so not overwhelming. Okay, don't play a super good creature. Okay, that's fine. Okay, another land. Another land's nice. I think we just need to kill the Geist. It's a little bit awkward using up Path of Peace on that, but dangerous to take too much free damage. Yeah, I think we're just going to remove it. We do have a lot of outs, but this hits pretty hard and pretty fast. And right now we don't have anything in hand, so... Oh, should always yield to the Ram again. Ravenous Chupacabra. Oh, rest in peace. If we had a white lane lion or exclude, we'd feel better than killing the Geist there, but it's hard to know. Yeah, we're looking pretty bad now. We need to find action, and we need to find it fast. Yeah, alright. We can exclude any other threat. We're not under a really, really aggressive clock, but we're not looking fantastic here either. Definitely behind on board. I wonder if we should have taken Flash. Flashing Murder of Crows seems like the best play you could ever make. Ugh, I think we do counter that. My opponent's going to get value from it anyway, but I want a card. I don't think we can afford to give him a 3-2. Okay, Shoreline Ranger. Actually, we draw a land. Starts looking pretty nice. Land? Black land, maybe? Okay, we will settle for Hussar. That blocks, and it works well with the White Mane Lion. Loyal Sentry, and Noble Templar. Noble Templar doesn't look great on this board, just because of the stupid Ram. I think we might actually want Loyal Sentry a little bit more. Okay, and then we've got... I guess we could just cast the Loyal Sentry now. Or we can keep a White Mane Lion and use the Court Hussar next turn. I think that's a little bit better. We want to make sure we're hitting our land drops. My opponent tries to remove it for some reason, we're pretty happy. Plane cycling their Noble Templar. Fair enough. Okay, and making a spirit. Okay, we're going to play our White Mane Lion. Bounce the Hussar. Probably replay it, although if we find a land, we'll probably still play Shoreline Ranger. Okay. Hussar, do we want to keep up blue or we just want to play some Loyal Sentries? I think we need white more and other stuff. Okay, the Bident's pretty good, but also Swamp is very important. Right now, we're not actually going to win off Triskaidekaphobia for a long, long time. I think we might actually want the Bident more. That lets us start randomly sniping our opponent's creatures again. Yeah, Bident seems good. Sorry, Swamp. We still have Ash Barrens, and I guess the only other easy way to shuffle is Ash Barrens. But there's one more way we could find Triskaidekaphobia. I don't think we can quite go for the dream this time, though. Okay. No sacrifice. Let's cast a Loyal Sentry. Do we want to keep up Cloud Shift? Kind of like building on the board. Maybe I don't care that much about any of our creatures. Alright. So we are in the market for a land, although we put, I guess, 2 on the bottom just now. I'm a little bit worried my opponent's just got some sort of crazy bomb, but... Take one. Okay, Ghost Ship's actually pretty good too. So... yeah. No great attacks. We'll play Ghost Ship though. Keep up Cloud Shift. And hope that this morph card isn't just the nuts. I guess we could have played the Biden first. I like playing Biden and being able to activate it the next turn so my opponent can't see it coming though. Not that there's tons they can probably do around it. Okay, Geist of the Moors is nicely answered by Ghost Ship. We can't actually regenerate it right now, but we can blank removal with Cloud Shift. Okay, there's another land. We could swing with Ghost Ship post Bident. That means we take a fair amount of damage coming back. Although we also could just use Cloud Shift to snipe something. Or we can just play Shoreline Ranger and buy into removal. I think if my opponent had removal, they may have used on the Ghost Ship there when we couldn't regenerate though. I guess let's swing with Ghost Ship. Or is 2 mana? Actually, 2 life probably doesn't even matter here, does it? Okay, Shoreline Ranger then. And we hope for no removal, but... And then next turn we'll enact our Biden plan. So hopefully there's no Felidar Sovereign in the deck. Loyal Sentry looks really bad against Biden. Board states that look like this are why I think that Mystic actually is going to be a real great card in this set. Because I see a lot of board stalls with just some like good value creatures. Okay, Path of Peace. Interesting that they chose to kill that and not the Shoreline Ranger. Respecting the regenerate, I think is perfectly reasonable. So we could play Fathom Seer, draw a couple of cards, but I think let's get Team Biden going here. This is just going to be very nasty for my opponent over the next couple of turns. Force attacks. Pick off as much as we can. Man, this card really does kind of mess with controlling decks. Alright. And then blocking like that. Like that. Like that. Maybe? Taking 5. I don't think I want to use up all our loyal sentries. I'm not sure I really want to trade there. Maybe I do. Oh, they have Zombify. Oh, they would have been swinging with it if they had it. We still have Cloud Shift. Is that too much of a risk? I want to keep our life total high, though, too. Okay, some trick. Hopefully not like a buff everything sort of card. It could be very annoying. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Survivalist blowing up the Biden. That's good value for my opponent. We are going to get to snipe some random cards on their side. Stamina, ooh, that's kind of bad for us. Yeah, it's actually really bad for us. Maybe we should have waited till we had Cloud Shift mana up. Alright, now we're looking not great again. We do get to play first. We do have Ash Barrens for the Triskaidekaphobia. I think we're going to play Fathom Seer first, though. And flip it up. Turn a couple islands, draw some cards. Sift. What are we looking for? Murder of Crows? Ghost Ship? We do have one more Ghost Ship. Yeah, I think we're just on the shift train here. Okay, Path of Peace is also an answer. Man, this Triskaidekaphobia is looking really bad here. I promise it's not always this bad. Pitching, I guess, plains over islands. Might as well swing at the Court Hussar. Survivalist. Kind of a crazy thing to be splashing for. I mean, my opponent did know about the Biden, though, and it did do really good work last game. Okay, so we're taking 4. Fair enough. Okay, and we can cast Path of Peace and cycle the Barrens. keep up Cloud Shift. I guess that's our line at this point. No good attacks. We're only taking 1 point of damage a turn. If we need to, we can play Triskaidekaphobia and start counting up life. We're getting to the point where we may not be able to kill our opponent in 13 cards, though. We need to find our Murder of Crows and keep it alive. We also should probably play quickly here. Could just like Cloud Shift the Hussar, but it doesn't feel fantastic. I'm pausing on our upkeep for some reason. Let's cast our Mystic face down. And we just need to move quickly. I don't ever want to F6 because of the Cloud Shift, but we are low on time. We've taken a lot of time talking to all you sweet folks. Yep. Ouch. Okay, we're gonna unmorph. Keeping up our planes. Dauntless Cathar, not a bad card for sure. And I guess we'll play Triskaidekaphobia at this point. Start making our opponent lose life. Let's swing with the Mystic. I'm gonna take my opponent down to a less healthy 31, although still pretty high. Play the Cathar. Play Triskaidekaphobia. It's going to be a sweet victory if we manage to turn this into a victory. But do need to play fast in a deck that doesn't really like playing fast. Pacifism? That's interesting, they're not going for the Mystic. Should we just bounce it? I think that's okay. And the plus side is then we get to F6. Okay, we're gonna gain life for now. Come on, we need those last couple of important cards. None of these silly shenanigans. We are getting in for 6, though. Uh-oh. Something. No! Our Mystic. That's our win condition. Don't you understand? Okay. Yeah, we only have 9 cards left in the deck. Part of me wants to concede so we have good time for the next game, but I think that's incorrect. My opponent plays... Ooh, Uber's Protector's rough. Okay. Okay, we pass. Play Murder of Crows. That is a card. One of the few cards I think that would have kept us from just giving up there. Yeah, we got a trade. We get to loot away our island here, though. Yes, definitely. Yeah, alright. I think we might just be too far gone. Hell's Caretaker. Oh, okay. Gain a life. Yeah, I think we're going to concede here. I think this game is over with the Caretaker in play. They can start just making infinite number of cards with the Protector. Alright, GG. Alright, now let's try this one more time. One more time. I actually don't hate Self-Assembler just because it's a 5/5, and 5/5s seem big and powerful. One's got a lot of removal. Maybe we do want another Cloud Shift over, say, like a Loyal Sentry. I don't hate the Sentries, but I think that this battle's going to be won in the air. Active Heroism actually also might be nice to just try and punch through if the board stall gets too involved. So what are we cutting here then? I guess maybe just a Cloud Shift. So we'll bring in Active Heroism for 1 Loyal Sentry. Alright, let's run the gauntlet. We got 5 minutes, guys. I have faith. Our opponent having the Inox Survivalist definitely was pretty big game that turn. It seems like kind of a crazy thing to splash for, but if it works, it works. Hand is good. Let's go ahead and keep it. I love me some Court Hussars. We've got an Angelic Page even a little bit before that. Yeah, we're going to aggressively pass these first couple of turns for sure. Our land draws have been basically perfect. Definitely can't complain about that. Okay, let's play our Hussar. We're gonna take, I guess, Dauntless Cathar here. Do we actually want more lands? Maybe we want more lands. Maybe Ashburns. Okay, swing with the page. Pass. And then next turn, if we don't have anything better to do, we're gonna cycle the Ashburns and play a Swamp. We may also Cloud Shift the Hussar. Okay. Okay. So let's swing with both of these. And then we're gonna Cloud Shift the Hussar. Oh no, well, that's kind of bad. I think it's still okay though. It's gonna get sacrificed then, which is a little bit awkward. I forget that's the way that interacts. Ghost Ship. Maybe let's take another Hussar. Rest in peace. And let's dig. Triskaidekaphobia. Come on. Triskaidekaphobia. Act of Heroism. Most important there. And let's pass. Death's Head Buzzard looks pretty cool too, for sure. Pretty good against our board. I feel like this is one of the most commonly like reprinted Masters cards. I feel like I've seen it a lot. Okay. This turn, let's swing with both. We use Act of Heroism to force our way through. And then we're gonna cycle the Ashburns. And I guess we should just do it now. And black, play black, and pass. Like I said, gotta keep our turns moving quickly here. Using the Ashburns is a little bit awkward since that does reshuffle the deck, but it can potentially bring not great stuff back on top. Okay, let's just swing with Hussar. My opponent wants to trade it for the page, or their Death's Head Buzzard for the page. I'm fine with that. Supernatural Stamina. So they get a pretty sick like 2-for-1 here, but we're about to resolve a Noble Templar, which should do good work. Okay, opponent correctly stacked it there. That would have been kind of funny if it had come back in and then died to its own effect. But it did not. Opponent's still at 4 cards. We're down to 3 minutes to kill him. We do have Noble Templar and Shoreline Ranger online, though. Hopefully nothing super absurd. Path of Peace is good. Okay, let's cast Shoreline Ranger. Maybe this one will stick. My flyer is bigger than your flyer. If they don't have removal this turn, we can keep up White Mane Lion for it. We can still remove a big threat with Path of Peace, too. Okay, the Biden's actually a really good draw. Can force my opponent to block here when they probably don't want to. Or just start giving us value. Okay, opponent blocks. And plays Disfigure. So I guess we want a White Mane Lion that back, right? Yeah. Okay, and pass. Oh man, if only we'd played a little bit sooner. I think we are in command here, but okay, Hell's Caretaker's good. Gets us just keep triggering enters the battlefield clauses. Okay, let's go to attacks. We only have 7 mana, so we can't actually use the Biden and Shoreline Ranger, which is kind of unfortunate. Unless we draw a land here. Ooh, blocking. I think you're just taking this. Okay, I'm fine with that. Killing the Hell's Caretaker? I guess so. Alright, and pass back, 2 minutes left. We're wrestling advantage. Murder, like ghost ship. And can keep regenerating ghost ship at this point, assuming my opponent can't kill it this turn. We still have Path of Peace for really important removal. Zombify, bring back the Protector. Okay. I think we're killing that. Swinging, let's draw us a sweet card, and play Dauntless Cathar. Really want to find Triskaidekaphobia. Gotta go the distance here. Okay. Hey though, I mean, our control deck's got 6 points of power on the battlefield. We have the Bident. And we have 2 minutes to kill our opponent. I've got faith. Okay, let's go to attack. We're just gonna go to town here. And hope my opponent doesn't have a, like, white main lion. I guess that would wreck us, kind of. But not even that bad. Look at these draw triggers. Oh, so good. Okay. Cast Ghost Ship. Cast Loyal Sentry. Morph Mystic. Hope they don't have a board wipe. That was a pretty good draw. Pretty good draw. Okay, Dusk Legion Zealot lets them dig 1 card deeper, but hopefully doesn't do much more than chump block here. Alright, we won the match. Alright. So you guys will have to forgive me for taking so long with those. I think that I probably didn't give the best analysis of the last couple of minutes because I was trying to play fast. But my analysis is that Bident of Thassa is a really, really good card, and I'm really glad we picked it up. I've been super, super impressed with it. Okay, picked up match 1. Cool. I will see you guys in just a second for match 2. Welcome back for match 2. We are on the draw here. I think we gotta toss this back. I'm a little bit tempted, honestly, just because we have so many islands and perfect mana otherwise. And I'm a little bit worried that 6-card hands might lead to some pretty rough draws, but I think we can't just keep this. My opponent's aggressive at all, we just die. I think this hand is better, even though we don't have white. And I can put that on the bottom, because we need to find planes. Adam Zero do a pretty good job of stalling the game and probably drawing us a little bit more action as well, so... Ooh, alright, opponent is on the aggressive plan. Now we have Triskaidekaphobia that can help keep us alive, actually, if we need it to. Just to do an impression of the ram from last game. It's also possible my opponent just does a lot of damage to himself with the Lacerator, and Triskaidekaphobia kills him. I think we're probably going to need to play the Fathom Seer just as a 1-3 here. It's a little bit interesting. Blue doesn't seem particularly aggressive, although Return Phalanx is pretty aggressive. Alright. Well, we might actually be able to sneak a victory with Triskaidekaphobia here, if we go to a really low life total, but my opponent takes some damage from the Lacerator along the way. We could maybe, like, sneak in with the Mystic a couple of times. Don't think it's looking great here, but I don't think we're just dead either. Using the Phalanx is actually fairly expensive, so... Who knows, maybe we won't even need to draw white. So my opponent, in effect, is at 5 life here, and Triskaidekaphobia can start doming them as well. This is definitely a little less controlling than our usual games will try to be with this card, but sometimes that just hits pretty hard. Like, just starting your opponent on such a low life total can be pretty good. So this looks like supernatural strength to me, but we really can't afford not to play into it, so... Nope, just attacking because might as well, I guess. Yeah, you never know when your opponent's just not going to block. Let's cast this guy face down. And pass. Okay, opponent's down to 17, also known as 4. My opponent attacks with the Phalanx again. Okay. They are hurting their draw a little bit. Again, that makes me think probably like a trick. We could... I think we double block anyway, though. I don't know. If they have the +2/+0, it really, really hurts us. We could block here. Their next turn, they go down to 15. We go down to 12. then Triskaidekaphobia starts going all in. This also plays around a combat trick a little bit. I think it's very likely my opponent's got something here. Block like that. Play another Mystic. Okay. Cutthroat with Fear. Okay, so that's going to hit us whether we like it or not. Because Morph actually isn't colorless, unfortunately, or doesn't count. So yeah, what's the best line? Next turn, they go down to 16. Triskaidekaphobia will take them down to 15. But then we're probably not surviving thereafter. But we're going down to 10 at least, so I think we do need to try and block the Lacerator. So I think we'll play Mystic. Pass here. Because the Triskaidekaphobia does hurt us too. We can't keep above 12 here though. Okay, yep. Incoming Phalanx. We are going to double block this time. I think we just kind of have to. So I think we'll block like this, because then at least we get to kill the Lacerator. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Supernatural Stamina is my opponent's play here. Maybe not. Just saying they're okay with the trade. Well, in that case, we read them wrong. We maybe should have gone a little bit harder and faster there. Hopefully they don't have anything crazy good follow-up. Okay, another Lacerator's not the worst. Oh, and Looter. Merfolk Looter's really good, but it actually may not be fast enough for my opponent. I think we're playing it. My opponent... I wonder if we should gain life. Or if we can afford to play this game. They didn't take quite enough from their Lacerators for me to really be happy with this. This was a mold of 6, though. And my opponents look like they've had a pretty good hand. Okay, I imagine the Looter's not coming in. Okay. And we're blocking for sure. We go down to 8, though. We'll die before my opponent does to the Triskaidekaphobia. So I think we probably just need to start gaining life on it, which is... ugh. Yeah, I think we're just in trouble here. We could drop... We don't have anything that burns our opponent. I guess let's gain. I think this game's probably over, but... yeah, looking grim. Maybe we shouldn't have shown off the Triskaidekaphobia then. So my opponent gets to loot away a card. We chump block, go down to 5. I guess my opponent doesn't know we're white, at least. I guess we're down to 3 here. Oh man, I think we could have actually won had we blocked the Phalanx a little bit earlier, but that's true, we actually go down to 1. I forget that those synergize. I think I still like that play, though, because gives us maybe a little bit more. Nah, I think this game's over, though. Yeah, let's lose life, like men. Rest in peace, everyone. Alright, would this one card have mattered? Nope. Alright, opponent's very aggressive. Which means I think we do want the Knights. Disenchant didn't look like it's great. Active Heroism we want. 1 Cloud Shift. Little Sentries will be good. The Rat with Fear is going to be a little bit of a problem for us, but I don't know if we can completely play around it either. Bident's maybe a little bit slow. I think Mystic's probably a little bit slow. These cards are nice because they can cycle, although they're a little bit late in the game. I guess the Noble Templar seems good. Maybe let's cut something like this. We just really want to hit our early land drops and try and stay alive. Quicksilver Dagger did look like it had some good targets. The Bident maybe just doesn't do, like... if we're getting beaten down, the Bident looks so bad. Maybe we'll play the Mystic instead. Triskaidekaphobia still seems kind of sweet. My opponent's probably going to take some damage from Lacerators. We could maybe Maya's a victory from that. Have to mulligan this one too, though. Looking grim. Oh, ouch. We're gonna keep, but ouch. At least we can play a Loyal Sentry this time. Come on. I feel like our matchup here actually isn't too bad, but against a good aggressive deck, you obviously look a lot worse if you fall behind on lands, which is exactly what's going to happen here. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we can go to 5 there, though. Turn to Phalanx. Loyal Sentry is pretty good against that. Okay, and we did find a land. All hope is not lost. If we gum up the board long enough, eventually the card disadvantage doesn't matter as much. Okay, Dusk Legion Zealot. Very serviceable card. Okay, another Loyal Sentry. I guess we're just gonna play more Knights though. A little bit more mana effective. Alright, board effectively gummed. We get up to 5. Murder of Crows will be good. Jace? What? How is that even fair? Well, alright. Well, alright. They just gave us the Ash Barrens? It's kind of interesting. Man, I don't know how we're going to interact with Jace, though. I should have waited there till after they'd... Well, I guess I wanted to play the land, but then they wouldn't have given us a land, maybe. Alright. So Moment of Heroism would be a good draw, could let us sneak through for some damage. We can plane cycling with the Noble Templar to interrupt my opponent's Fate Seal if that's their plan. Okay, looks like they are just Fate Sealing. Oh, Jace. I'll bet my opponent's sad they were playing a Phantom League. That would have been quite the pretty penny. Did we see a morph from last game? I don't remember seeing one. No, I guess they're content just to give us lands. Do we have to kill Path of Peace? I guess if we kill Returned Phalanx, we can start swinging. Alright. The morph can't get us at least this turn. This will hold off Jace for a little bit longer. This is kind of short-term gain, long-term loss, because the Merfolk Looter is going to get my opponent value. But we're really, really far behind as it is right now anyway. Okay, opponent willing to trade. It's a little bit interesting, given that then our Loyal Sentries could start swinging. Guess that's pretty bad against the Dusk Legion Zealot, but it might be necessary. Oh, Ruthless Ripper. And Revealing Unearth. Okay. So they're probably just going to bring back the Phalanx. Okay, I mean, that's fine. That was, I guess, 2 free points of damage, or pretty close to free. They showed us that they have Unearth, but... Suppose they could also just return Ripper, but the Phalanx just seems better. Yeah. Well, if they give us another land, Murder of Crows is good. Maybe my opponent just doesn't have, Murder or something, and that takes over the game? Probably a little bit. Well, they gave us a land. No counterspell? No murder? Jace can still just bounce at every turn, I think this is, yeah, gonna be a... Okay. Darn. My opponent gets to just get rid of that, too. Yeah, I'm not sure we would have won this game anyway. I think we maybe could have found a route to victory last game. We were close. If we'd blocked the Phalanx earlier, although... you really don't want to get blown out by that. And my opponent having, a +2/+0 there. Alright, Noble Templar. This is a big threat. It's possible my opponent doesn't have another answer. We are out of cards, though. And opponent is not only sculpting perfect draws, he's also sculpting the top of my deck, so... So next turn, or here they'll go up to 11 off Jace. Means we're very close to losing to the ultimate. We could swing with Noble Templar, but... yeah. This is pretty brutal, pretty brutal. Opponent did put a card on bottom, so there's a chance that we find something still. We just need to kill Jace, or hit Jace at least, in the next 2 turns. That's not looking real likely. Okay, Fathom Seer is actually a really good draw. Cast this. And unmorph it. And it's kind of like drawing 2 cards. Okay, Dauntless Cather. And an island. So if we swing with just this here, I imagine my opponent blocking with the Zealot, but not too much we can do about it either. And if Jace ultimates, the game is truly just over, so. It's funny, because if my opponent had really any other threat, we'd look really good. We could have used the Path of Peace on the Merfolk Looter a while ago, and just would have built out kind of a slow board, even with the 6. Although I guess maybe we wouldn't have done as well, because my opponent wouldn't have given us lands. Kind of funny. So we will be able to hit Jace next turn. Interesting. But we're going to lose like a Loyal Sentry along the way, or something. Return Phalanx is going to do some damage. And that's just going to happen turn after turn after turn. Come on, bottom. Come on, bottom. Give us good stuff. Okay, did bottom. So that means there wasn't a land for sure. Okay, Active Heroism's pretty good here. We can actually kill off the Phalanx. Okay, and we're just going to swing at Jace with everything. A little bit surprising my opponent hasn't been swinging with the Cutthroat. I can't block. I can understand the rationale behind ordinarily keeping, like if it didn't have that clause, just keeping it back as a defender, even though it is a good attacker most of the time. I think we need to get rid of the Phalanx more than the Bat. My opponent's got removal. Again, there's a little bit of a blowout, but I don't think we can play around it either. If they had removal, they probably would have killed the Templar. Maybe not. Darn. Interesting. I guess they still value the return Phalanx quite a bit. Wait. What? Oh, the Phalanx went underneath the Active Heroism for a second. Yeah, so if I'd waited, they maybe would have killed Noble Templar, but I think we had to go for it there. Jace does go back down to 5. We lose a lot of creatures, though. My opponent's running out of chump blockers for the Templar, but we're like... My opponent's drawing 2 cards a turn, kind of, and we're drawing like half a card a turn. Half a card might even be generous. Okay. Does bounce the Noble Templar. Probably a good sign for us. And you're going to start getting in with his creatures. Makes sense. No longer has a real good chance of winning with Jace, so I like that. I'm going to swing with Arcathar. We just swing with everything here, actually. Make sure we get off the board. Yeah, I think that's actually best. My opponent doesn't have a removal spell. Then we play Noble Templar, and this gives us potentially an out, or if we find like a big flyer, maybe we survive long enough. And another murder. Tragic. Yeah, this game is... It's been painful. Been painful. I felt like we drew out of things so very well, too, but our opponent just kind of was one step ahead the whole way. Yeah, not real surprising there. Opponent probably should have swung with the Phalanx, but I don't think it's really going to matter. Sift. Looking for a Ghost Ship, I guess. Cloud Shift does not count. And 2 lands is pretty bad. Oh, yeah, I should have maybe tapped a little bit differently there, since I knew we were going to need to use the Cathar. So we go down to 4, and we just have very few ways to permanently deal with the Cutthroat, too. Darn. Darn, darn, darn. I mean, you definitely see the reason why Jace is so good, though. Like, an all-star in a lot of formats, and yeah, definitely throws draft a little bit out of whack, too. Okay. I don't realistically see a way out here, but we'll draw our last card just for the value. Ghost Ship would have been good a couple turns ago, but not good enough now. Well, alright, so no perfect 3-0 victory for the Triskaidekaphobia deck. And actually, we haven't killed anyone with it yet. I promise it does happen. So, next game. I have faith. See you guys there. Hello, welcome back for our last match. We've won the dice roll, and I think we got a keep here. Well, actually, I guess that's true. We can cycle the Shoreline Ranger if we need to. I was going to say it's a little bit sketchy, but if we get to 3, we're good, and the Shoreline Ranger definitely makes sure we get to 3, so pretty happy with this then. Let's see what my opponent's up to over there. This is nice though, a good change of pace after the last couple of rounds where we weren't actually able to do as much. We want to island cycle now. I think we really do want to hit the Court Hussar and keep working our way up towards other stuff. I don't think we need the Loyal Sentry just yet, so I think we are going to pass and Shoreline Ranger here. It's a little bit of a shame to cycle this card away because it is so solid, but righty. Well, we will cycle it now. We need a land, so. And my opponent gets to choose their favorite thing to steal. What would you take here? Court Hussar, maybe? Maybe Sift. Maybe Mystic? Although, if you're playing black, I imagine you've got a good amount of removal for the Mystic. That is an annoying card, though. Yeah, this actually might be kind of telling about what my opponent's game plan is here. I probably would be most happy if they took Court Hussar. Although that kind of looks like an innocuous card in general. It took Sift. I think I can get behind that as well. Oops. Ooh, man, I almost F6'd the turn there. I F6'd right when my opponent was finishing and had already F6'd, so glad we didn't just skip around. That would have been bad. Yeah. And this should help us find another land drop. We could just take another Hussar. Is that, like, ultimate? Let's take Path of Peace, although we can't play it right now. Although we can't find the court, we're just really hoping to find a land off the top after that. I think let's just take plains and not get too fancy. Okay, and then next turn we can play Loyal Sentry and Mystic, and hopefully get in with our court as well. Opponent looks like they're having some mana issues. I don't think you're usually going to be mono black. Undead Gladiator. Discard a card, return it from your graveyard to your hand. Seems cool. Seems cool. Well, we did draw a land there, so I guess we would have maybe been happier with another Court Hussar, but hard to know. Definitely going to swing here, I think. We're going to have to trade at some point anyway. And opponent just taking a point. And let's play a Loyal Sentry and morph our Mystic. It's pretty obvious what this is, but still getting it on the battlefield a little bit earlier is better than not. Okay, opponent found red. Now the danger begins. Does look like they're a little bit more grindy, control-ish than aggressive, certainly. Undead Gladiator is good, I think, in pretty much any like slower deck, although it's probably okay in a highly aggressive one too. I think Loyal Sentry will be able to do better, although I guess the Court Hussar is pretty good with Angelic Page. Nah, I think I want to just trade here because we'll have Cloud Shift up in the future for Loyal Sentry perhaps as well. Opponent can say value complete. Let's turn that guy up. Get in for a couple points of damage. And then play Angelic Page. So we're pretty close to out of gas here. Opponent's got a little bit more thanks to their Mesmeric Fiend, but they do have to find an answer for the Mystic pretty quick. That's a 4-turn clock as it stands. And not going to block. I want to get value with the Cloud Shift a little bit later. Skeleton Eyes. Fair enough. Maybe an argument for not playing the page. Maybe it would have been better to use Cloud Shift, but that's alright. Alright, we will pass. We have Exclude up for value, and we've got Cloud Shift still. And we will be blocking the Morph this turn for sure. So we can actually block and tap, can't we? Yeah, I think that's okay. My opponent wants to use like a combat trick. That's not the end of the world. Oh, that's true. I need to hold control. Although actually, no, we should always get a chance because it's a triggered ability. We can cast it. Okay, Ruthless Ripper. Kind of annoying, but not a huge like blowout or anything. We are going to save our Loyal Sentry though. And we're going to tap. Make that a little bit bigger. Alright, look at all these triggered abilities all flying around. It's kind of funny. Alright, so lots of stuff happened there. We end up getting rid of the Morph creature. That was kind of it. Higher Hound. Interesting. Okay, so Path of Peace, I think we just gotta get rid of Mesmeric Fiend here. Oh, I should have countered that. I have 6'd. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's okay. Loyal Sentry's still a little bit of an answer. But yeah, let's Path of Peace this. Give my opponent a little bit of extra value. I really wish we could keep up Exclude, but I think we need this now. And I guess we're actually holding on. I'm not going to block with the page. I just want to make sure the skeleton can't get in. Yeah, we should have countered that, though. That was an early F6, and a pretty bad early F6. Because Pyrehound has the potential to be very brutal. And I don't think I ever realized how huge this thing is. I'd be running too. Or the Broken Lands. Well, I wish I had Exclude up. Such is life. Such is life. Okay, we're gonna Sift first. And see what we find here. Okay, Murder of Crows is nice. We're just gonna pitch up Plains. And we're gonna pay a Plains. And I guess trade for one of these big cards. And still have Exclude available. We'll use Ashburn so my opponent doesn't attack, but that seems unlikely. Who knows, maybe we'll exclude something bigger. Probably not, though. Let's go ahead and block. Take 2. And cycle the Ashburns then. Go grab Swamp. And Loyal Sentry. Nice. We have 8 mana now. I actually think I do still want to keep Exclude up. I'll take another couple points of damage. No big deal. Guess we might swing with the Angelic Page at this point. Alright, and then Murder of Crows is fantastic. Hopefully will let us start taking over the game. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. No fantastic removal. Okay. Just return Gladiator, which is fine. I think we'll probably counter it if they play it. He is swinging. That's scary. That means probably removal. I think I'm just gonna wait and cast the Loyal Sentry. I don't want them to, like, I don't know, have something really absurd here that gets up to a 4/5. I did Gladiator. Yeah, let's exclude that. Not because I'm particularly afraid of it, since they can bring it back over and over, but we just want to draw another card. Okay, and I'm going to keep the island here because Murder of Crows is live. Okay, and these guys get to swing. Take my opponent down to 14. And then outside of direct removal, Murder of Crows is probably going to get some value. Okay, just pitching land still. Gladiator does come back over and over and over again, but it's a little bit slow. Really, we just don't want this to die. Wow, really? Not going to kill the Murder of Crows. That excited about Pyrehound, huh? It's a really big surprise to me. That seems like the biggest threat by a mile. I I don't know if that's karma or justice or just plain luck. Probably just plain luck, but I look pretty good about it all the same. Yeah, we'll take it. Noble Templar. Awfully good card, too. So we could play that and try and just block the Pyrohound with it. I think that's best. And I guess maybe I'll just cast both of these things. And then not have the Murder of Crows ability active. We swing with all of these. It doesn't actually speed up lethal that much unless the Murder of Crows dies. But I think between the two of these we're going to be able to block too. I guess my opponent will just regenerate if we swing with it though. So, swing for 5. Down to 9 over there. Yes, Noble Templar. And Loyal Sentry. Man, this card's good. It really is kind of absurd. Like, I didn't play original Innistrad, unfortunately. I've heard it's fantastic. But I can't even imagine playing this in a regular set. It just would have been backbreaking. It's Air Elemental, except for it's better. And Air Elemental's already, like, stupid, so... Gladiator making another Encore. Such a cool card. I love cards that bounce between the library, or the graveyard and the battlefield. Okay. Do we want to... Yeah, I think we swing with the Cathar and the Templar, and potentially bump up one or the other. And that will let us cycle with our planes, too, to find something good. Also potentially lets us get good value off the Cathar. My opponent could kill the Noble Templar instead, but they would have to put a lot of stuff in front of it. Okay, just jumping. Fair enough. That still gets us our free planes, which is nice. Or a free draw by getting rid of the planes. Yes, we would. Nice. That's even a pretty good draw. This late in the game, pretty much anything that gives us some card selection or some more draws is just great. Ghost Ship or White Mane Lion? The Lion just keeps Murder of Crows alive through anything. Ghost Ship, on the other hand, is just another flying threat. Yeah, I guess I'll just take Ghost Ship. It's unlikely to have two things, right? I guess Ghost Ship's more toughness on the battlefield, if that's relevant. If they have, like, Damnation, I wonder if that's in the set. Let's take the Lion. I could see arguments for either there, but the Lion might save us in a case where we're really getting blown out. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know all the cards in the set. It's possible, like, Anger of the Gods is in here. Maybe even Languish. Alright, opponent concedes. Alright, we still have not won a game with our premier card of the deck. This next one's going to have to be it. It just has to be. Alright, so I don't think we need Knights of the Skyward Eye, Disenchant. I haven't hated Active Heroism, just to kind of help things like the Cortazar break through a slightly larger creature. But I'm not really sure we want to cut either. Yeah, I think I'm just going to run it back. Alright, opponent kept 7. I think we're going to keep this hand. It's a little bit awkward because we have Ash Barrens and no blue source, but we're also on the draw. If we draw an island over the first couple of turns, we can just cycle it away. That's not so bad. Or we could cycle the Ash Barrens and go looking for black. And we could win with Triskaidekaphobia. That is the goal here, so... Okay, Shoreline Ranger means we'll probably cycle that instead of the Ash Barrens. Well, I guess we're cycling that anyway, but we're going to cycle this for blue and this for black. You guys know what I meant. No play just yet. Let us play our planes. Swing with our Loyal Sentry. For value, of course. It's one tick closer to Triskaidekaphobia. That could be a whole turn. And then we're gonna get rid of the Shoreline Ranger at the end of turn here. And then next turn play Court Hussar. Ooh, Will-o-the-Wisp. Oh wow, this is a full looking card. I guess gotta make room for that flavor text. Such a cool art. I'm just loving a lot of the cards in this set. Really, really exceptional. Rest in peace, Shoreline Ranger. You're a good card. I am sad to see you go. Oh well, that's kind of funny. 'Tis what it is. So Will-o-the-Wisp actually will do a pretty good job of keeping us from getting through for any points of damage, but Ghost Ship will do a pretty good job of breaking that stalemate actually now. Because, I mean, you can still block there, but at least then we're getting it with like a Court Hussar or something. Alright. Cast back. No attacks. I mean, this is like... Ooh, okay. Pyrehound. That means they can't regenerate the Will-O-the-Wisp this turn. For what that's worth. Which I guess isn't tons. Okay, I guess let's cast Ghost Ship. We're gonna do it. I feel it, guys. I just feel it here. We're gonna do it. And it's gonna be great. Pyrehound's kind of a cool inclusion. I'm a little bit surprised to see it doesn't strike me as, I don't know, as famous as some of these other cards, although I guess this card isn't either. It is fun though. Bloodhunter Bat. Okay, very solid as well. And gets them much farther away from Triskaidekaphobia range. Not the Beast. So this turn, what are we doing? We're keeping up Exclude. We're not swinging with anything. So I guess we're just keeping up Exclude and Ash Barrens. And waiting for the day we can start swinging with Noble Templar as well. Yeah, right. A slow game. And my opponent's all the way up to 8 life. That's higher than they should ever be against Triskaidekaphobia. I just like saying that word. You guys have probably noticed. Okay, no attacks. Let's cycle the Ash Barrens. Go find Swamp. Ooh, Bident. Yeah, that breaks the board open pretty quick. So that kind of destroys the Will-O-the-Wisps. Do we play Noble Templar first? Kind of like playing Noble Templar first. I don't know. If we play the Bident, my opponent next turn sacrifices Bloodhunter Bat and Pyrehound. And then the turn after we get to swing, probably for at least 1 lifelink. Nah, he's probably gonna have another blocker. Let's add the Noble Templar out. If we could keep up Exclude, that might make the Bident enough better, but since we can't, it's probably not. This is an original Magic card. Kind of fun. Twisted Abomination. Ugh. That's unfortunate. That's something we wanted to exclude. Alright. So the Noble Templar does match up pretty well against it, all things considered. Yeah, I think we're just gonna play it cool here. Play it cool. Play the Bident, get my opponent to swing in, make some bad trades on their behalf. They'll get to regenerate some stuff, but I think that this will let us take over the game. This has been really impressive. And as good as it's been for us, I'm pretty sure that the picture on this video is still going to be Triskaidekaphobia. Even if it never does anything, it's still going to be Triskaidekaphobia. Okay, Dusk Legion Zealot. Probably looking for an answer to the Noble Templar, if I had to guess. Okay, opponent has entered the fateful begin combat step. Come at me, bro. So we go like block, and I guess do we just block like that? My opponent's got a trick, I'm okay trading the Noble Hussar away. Although I guess if it's just a +1/+0 trick, that's not real likely. So maybe that's bad. I think we just take 5 here. And then the Court Hussar might be able to swing through next turn, which is pretty solid. Okay, looks like there's something. Skeleton Eyes. Fair enough. Rest in peace, Sweet Templar. So we should have double blocked. That's true, any spell would have buffed it up. Fair enough, fair enough. So that was good. That was pretty good. Better than I would have hoped. Do we play Murder of Crows? Yes, we do. We do have to kind of block the Twisted Abomination for forever, which is unfortunate. I guess we swing. No, because we want to loot. That's right. Swing with all these fine folks. I guess those 2 fine folks. Draw some cards. Hope to hit a land here, really. Opponent down to 17. Yes, we would. Yes, we would. And play Angelic Page. And then trust next turn. No, actually, I think we need to force an attack, because then Murder of Controls can get in. Then my opponent goes down to 13. And then Triskaidekaphobia kills them from there. So if we force attacks, though, we can like snipe some of these other cards too. I think that's just better than Angelic Page would be. Really wish we could have left to exclude up, but that's okay. I probably would have just F6 through it anyway. Aha, sick burn. Okay, so block like that. Block like that. Do we actually, maybe we just want to chump block and keep our life total kind of high? I think that's not bad. This takes us down to 12, which means we're not losing a Triskaidekaphobia. Actually, it takes us down a couple more, yeah. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have another Skeletonize. I guess maybe we didn't want to block with the Murder of Crows just because it's pretty bad if that's the case. Draw a card. Pitch a card. Draw a card. Pitch a card. Are we still in lands? Are bad? Yeah, I think so. Draw a card. Pitch a card. Draw a card. What are we pitching? Fathom Seer is pretty much straight upside over Angelic Page at this point, I think. Okay. Hopefully no flyer. Char-toothed Cougar. Okay. Opponent's got a lot of scary threats here. We do get to take him to 13, though. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess maybe we should have kept a land. We're going to cast Triskaidekaphobia, and then keep up Exclude, maybe? Let's swing with our Murder of Crows, make sure that nothing bad happens to it. We're gonna do it, guys. Oh, I feel it. It's gonna be so sweet. Actually, I kind of want to land. Even though we just pitched like a billion lands. One's at 13, just as planned. Well, that's true. And actually, the Loyal Sentry saved us from Pyrehound. That makes sense. I'll have to remember that in the future. Okay, and we have to be able to block the Char-toothed Cougar. My opponent's like, no! Oh, that feels sweet. So, obviously, the Triskaidekaphobia deck is just the best deck in the format. And the fact that we lost that second game, nothing to do with our play, just mulligans. Obviously, nothing realistically should ever beat this deck. Oh man, I'm so happy I got to share this with you guys. I was so bummed when I opened this as my first card and then wasn't able to actually post the draft, but you guys got a second run through anyway. And this draft deck looks similar. Biden of Thassa, real MVP. I can't believe it was passed, honestly. This just seems, in a slow format where your opponent's got a bunch of like random value creatures and the board just gets gummed up, Biden of Thassa does great work. Draws you cards, snipes your opponent's small creatures. Yeah, it was great. I, of course, would never ever say that it's better than Triskaidekaphobia, but it's a very close second in this deck for sure. Thanks for watching. This set seems really sweet. I'd like to be able to do a couple of other combos, Horseshoe Crabs, Self-Assemblers. I think there are a lot of kind of fun 1-2 punches in this set, and I'm looking forward to trying them all out. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.